Wow, Morocco winning by a goal to nil. Youssef El Nesri's goal, the decider. And like I said, it sent Morocco and the entire African continent into a place they've never been, a place they've always wanted to be, the last 4 of the World Cup. Guys, this was great.
Oof, where to start? I mean, this match had everything in the sense that it felt like you were watching a battle, you know. One army is just pushing forward, the other armies dug their trenches, they are defending for their lives. It was magical to watch. It was a great moment for African football. You know, we've worked for this moment since Egypt went to the 1934 World Cup and didn't do much there. This has been what Africa has been working for since then. So it's a great moment for us. I always say it's a bit bittersweet because it could have been Ghana, but you know, let's not dwell in the past. Let's talk about Morocco. No team has been able to break them down, seriously. I mean, we joke about Canada getting their own goal and stuff, but what did Canada do to deserve that? So they've not been broken down the whole tournament. They are taking advantage of the chances they do get, and that's what you can ask from a team. So they are playing the perfect tournament, quote unquote. So you just love to see it.
It's very interesting that in an age where there's a lot of tactical sophistication, and sophistication to mean teams are advanced, they love to play this nice open style of football, it's taking a team to be defensively solid to ride several World Cup games and stages to get here. And then they put up yet another class against Portugal, fended off everything the Portuguese had to throw.
That's where Fernando Santos comes
in. Why?
Nathan, Morocco had played 4 games prior to this. Mm-hmm. You watched the Morocco game against Belgium.
I did.
We watched Morocco against Croatia. We watched them against Canada. We watched Morocco against Spain. And that was just to show you that when you are playing against them, anything you do outside the box, they don't care. Your passing around isn't going to stop, it's not going to change their shape. They don't follow your runners when they are running in front of them. It's a low block of 4. They are literally standing there waiting for you. Pass. It's not going to break them down. Fernando Santos. The Switzerland game was completely different. Now go back to that game, what Susu said. It was a game where, look, Switzerland has shown the entire competition that they were always spacing their defense. So if you play a mobile striker who can press, you by all means exploit those spaces. But Goncalo Ramos, he's not your typical target man. That style of football isn't going to harm Morocco in any way. This was the game he needed to start Cristiano Ronaldo up front. Look, even if you didn't want to start Ronaldo, you wanted to go for another striker, Andre Gomez should have started this game. Andre Silva should have started this game. You needed that center forward. Encourage the one-on-one duels. Hit crosses in. Let Ronaldo or Andre Silva pin himself to size. And when you encourage those duels, that is when you give them problems. Not a forward who is going to drop small,
Remember, Ramos used to play as a 10 sometimes in the youth system. So he has that kind of tendency.
Even last season, he was the one playing behind Darwin Núñez at Benfica. He's not your stand-in striker. And you see, Portugal literally wasted 60 minutes. Because everything they did in the first half was completely useless. Morocco were just watching them. It is different if the Moroccan team had shown tendencies of following runners and opening space at the back. They don't do that. You have size and you have the other guys, Yamik, the very tall guy. Yeah. What you need is somebody in there, fire the crosses in, encourage those duels. How come when Cristiano Ronaldo, all the chances we are seeing from Portugal was from the second half? Because now the variety has changed. If you watch Bruno Fernandes' shot from outside the box, was it when Leao got the ball? Just before he crossed, if you watch the movement, Ronaldo went in with the back four. They all followed him, and Bruno was left at the foot. Mm-hmm. Because now there are different variations. Ronaldo can take the center forwards away, leave space for Bruno.
Center backs
away, leave space for Bruno. When Horta came in, when they introduced Rafael Leao, and they started whipping in those crosses, then you could see that's where the Moroccan weakness is. It's a strength, but it's also a weakness. Because look, when you come to one-on-one duels, it is your strength against my strength. You can win like the England-France game. Maguire handled Giroud until that one moment. And by all means, when you have somebody like Cristiano Ronaldo, when you have somebody like Andre Silva, strikers who fancy these one-on-one battles, you can win 10. The 1 hour win will enter the back of the net. And for Portugal to throw away 60 minutes, because the people say Ronaldo doesn't press. Morocco don't progress.
I would say you don't even need to press it.
You don't need the pressing forward. You don't need any, because you are the one going to control the tempo of the game. Mistake number 2. Starting Ruben Neves ahead of William Carvalho in a game like this.
Why was that a problem?
I'm sitting here in Ghana. I'm sitting here in Adabraka. Tesano. Forgive me. And I told you guys when we were doing the pre-matches that this is a game for William Carvalho. You want somebody who has the patience and experience to be able to suck the life out of the game. Don't allow Morocco to have those quick breaks, because that's the only way they can be able to score you. If you watch the sequence to the Moroccan goal, it was Ruben Neves who lost the ball. And you see, you think it's just one of those things. But keeping the ball is so important to breaking down this Morocco team. They were not able to score. Yes, Spain didn't score, but they also were able to score Spain. How many chances did Morocco create against Spain? Next to nothing. Morocco broke down Belgium. They scored Canada. Spain, they didn't score. Portugal, Croatia, they didn't score. Because who is in the middle?
Modric,
Brozovic,
and
Kovacic. So you need a midfield that can keep the ball and not allow them to have those fights. Somebody who is patient and has a presence of mind. Somebody who is not forcing it. If you look at the entire first half, in fact, when the game started, I was asking myself, are we in the last 10 minutes of the game? Why does Portugal look so desperate? And they were just passing the ball frantically in front of the Moroccans. And Saiz was just waiting for Goncalo to come. And Goncalo can't do anything. Because, and you see, you don't have the guys who can. They are not giving you the space for you to shoot from distance also. Bono is a fantastic keeper. Fernando Santos, mistake number 3. And this time I was waiting for the mistake to come. Yes, hindsight is 2020, but I'll say it. You are in a competition like this. Your centre-back pairing is Ruben Diaz and Pepe. Ruben Diaz, Pepe, they have played with Rui Patricio since what? In fact, after the Euros, that's when
since Ruben Diaz got into the...
Then just before the competition, you change it and bring Diogo Costa. Diogo Costa is not a bad goalkeeper. But you see...
He's probably better than Rui Patricio on form.
On form, yes. But you see, all this, it's about communication. And when you are used to the people you play with, when you've built that partnership and you've built that telepathy, this thing wouldn't have happened to... Ball is flighted in. Ruben Diaz doesn't know whether he's going or not. And then when Diogo Costa realizes that Ruben Diaz is not going to get the header, then he quickly comes out of his pool. He's late. And it's a free header for El Nesri. Common, petty mistakes. If you wanted Diogo Costa to play, he should have started against South Korea. That's what nobody is doing trial and error at this time. And the fact that the trial and error worked against Switzerland, you see, that's where coaching comes in. You should know why it worked. Yeah. Not because it was just a swap change. You should know why it worked. Because in that game, had they played Andre Silva, had they played Ronaldo, Portugal would probably still have won. And they would have won comfortably. Maybe those strikers wouldn't have scored a hat-trick, but the win was there. You played these people 3 months ago. You beat them 4-0. Ronaldo scored twice. It's not Goncalo Ramos who all of a sudden allowed Portugal to play better against Switzerland. So in this game, when you know that you are facing a low block, a team that they don't compromise on their defensive positioning. They are not going to be drawn by the movement of your attackers. You need to stick somebody up there. And this is why I'm saying that France will beat Morocco. Because of
they have Olivier Giroud.
Because of Giroud. One of those things, you see, one of those incessant crosses will find Giroud's head. And it will be Giroud against Bono. Hopefully for Africa, Bono will be able to save. But I can bet you that France will have much more chances.
Okay.
Than all these other teams who are
we'll get into the semis maybe tomorrow, subsequently. Talking about Giroud, though, he started for France as they beat England by...
So Fernando Santos...
a chance to chew on this game. So
Fernando Santos, they say he should resign. He should resign that what? Since 2006, Cristiano Ronaldo, Cristiano dos Santos Aveiro, he has taken this Portuguese team 2010. Did you see the Portuguese team in 2010?
Yeah, I remember that.
Do you remember that Portuguese team?
I don't recall. But
It was so bad. Danny. Do you remember Danny? The guy who used to play for Zenit
Zenit
St.
St.
Petersburg.
Petersburg.
Danny. Lietzen was on his last legs. Danny.
I think Lietzen was even in Brazil at that time.
Oh! And Ronaldo had to carry that team. When it has reached the point where the rest of the boys can carry him, then you are making tactical, petty errors. At this stage, a manager who has won Euros, a manager who has won Nations League, you can't tell why Goncalo Ramos worked against Switzerland and why he will not work against Morocco. Or he didn't watch Morocco.
I don't know. Maybe he did, maybe he did not. So quick thoughts before we move on.
No, and it's just to buttress what Daniel said. When we looked at what worked for Morocco, we knew that, and exactly what I said. I always said Ramos had a good game. But that game does not tell me if Ramos should be starting over Ronaldo. It didn't tell me that. That's not what that game said. And like he said, that physical presence will probably have been more useful in this game. But for me, what impressed me the most, and I'm sure they'll bring up the stats, was the fact that at the end of the game, despite all the possession, all the ball playing, Morocco had the higher XG.
Okay.
That's what I loved about this game, that they used the ball.
Maybe our producer can
better with the ball.
Can put up the data from the game.
And that's why I want to even bring up, because
can...
even from a statistical perspective, this was Morocco's game. Like, you can't take that away from them. And I just want to point out, look at the clearances comparison, 35-2. Penalty area entries, 13-47. Passing accuracy, 71-85. But look at their shots. Look at their shots on target. They use the ball. That's the game plan. So we have to give Morocco all the credit. I know people want to dismiss is that because this game, of all the games they played, this was their best game. This was their best game. So we just have to give them that credit.
And you going for it, you can't offer anything.
And even
defensively, too, you are not doing anything to stop them.
And even though Bono made some big saves, look at how far the ball was from the goal. There was nothing that was like Bono was dead compared to Livakovic, who was basically saving clean goals. Bono's goals, they were coming from far, so he had time, he could adjust, get his body into position, and that's the difference. And I understand what Daniel said about France and Morocco, but I can believe in Morocco because they don't make it easy for anyone.
Dima Maghreb.